It's time! We're celebrating! It's 5 years! We're celebrating! It's 5 years! We're rolling on the road. 100 shades of the ability. We're rolling on the road. Rolling on the road. We're rolling on the road. 100 shades of the ability. We're rolling on the road. Take it away. Take it away. It's time.
Well, we got that in stereo on today. All right, we're just gonna say bless the Lord. It came in stereo. I am so excited uh, to have my guest today. Y'all see her? She's so beautiful, just beautiful. She is a native of Nashville, Tennessee, and she is actually the beginning of legacy and telling people's story. So many times over the last 5 years, we've had so many different people to come on, but we haven't really been intentional in saying we're telling your story. Here's a space just for you. And today we are doing that. This space is just for you. We're telling your story. This is her story right here because there's a lot of history, her story. There's a lot here for us to unpack. So you guys get your favorite beverage. This mine. I got my juice blend here, which is watermelon, strawberry, lemon, mixed together with some honey on ice. Got my juice here. I'm ready just to dive into the conversation. I know you guys are going to tune in from all over with questions, comments. I'm excited. Miss Lola.
Hello.
How are you today?
Excited, nervous, excited, and nervous.
It's amazing how you just start talking to somebody, and I think you said 3 sentences, and I said, "Oh my God, I got to have you on my show." You're like, "What? What show?" And I said, "Oh my gosh, just trust me." I said, "It's just like 2 girlfriends having a conversation with a bunch of people ear hustling and making their comments." And you're like, "Okay, sure." Sure. So I want to say thank you for saying yes. And many times people want to say that they're a trailblazer. And that really just means that you're creating space where there was no space. And you have found a way to tell your story and share some history and some legacy with people. And when you started talking about your mom, I said, "Oh my gosh, wait a minute, what? What? Black people don't do that." So y'all know me. Y'all know me. I was like, we need to unpack this a little bit. And I think that we need to unpack this with an audience was my first thought. And I just want y'all to know, see, I talked about her on Sunday when I went live on my little Sundays with the doc. This is the person who gave me this. I just want y'all to see this.
Yes.
She's the person that gave this to me. So I have not sent you the link. It's on YouTube. And I have not sent it to you because I wanted to tell you firsthand in front of my entire audience how much this just really meant to me. It meant a lot because I want to say the week before I had a horrible seizure. And to know she was just like right there. I appreciated her for being there.
You. I wouldn't have
Just,
been anywhere else.
she was right there by my side. And I was like, we just met yesterday. And she is just right here by my side. She did not move. She was not bothered. She wasn't nervous. And a lot of times, people get nervous. And I think you saw that. But I could just look and I could see you when my eyes was focusing. And that really helped to calm my body down because you were just calm. You were just there. What was it like for you in that moment when you saw all this chaos?
I was trying to get to you because I knew right then and there you were having a seizure. I used to have epileptic seizures from the time I was 6 up until I was 13. And my mother, being a doctor, her name was Dr. Dorothy Brown, and her being a doctor, she took me through all of these different tests at Vanderbilt Hospital. I got my head scratched. I had felt like cement put in my head, had these electrodes put there. I'm 6 years old and I'm like, what in the world is going on? Mm-hmm. And they had me drink this sweet stuff and I couldn't close my mouth. I had to have my teeth apart. So I would do this when I was little, and I had to take Dilantin and a medication called Tridione. Mm-hmm. Tridione was just nasty. The pills were too big, and my mother switched me to the liquid, and it was so nasty. I just kept taking it religiously, and finally, I said, God, I can't do this anymore. I literally told him, I can't do this anymore. And I was 13 years old when that happened, and I haven't had a seizure since.
Look at God. Y'all put y'all hands together.
I used to have migraines. I had all kinds of things that would go on with me. But the seizures were the most prominent because what I would do is my eyes would roll back in my head. You have grand mal, I think. I had petite mal. And my eyes would just roll back in my head. But before that, I would get headaches, really, really bad headaches. And and I would tell my teacher, I have a seizure coming on. And this was even in the 6th grade. And that was just basically it with the seizures. And when I told God, I can't do this anymore, please, I'm through with it. And they just stopped. And my mom couldn't even believe it. She was a doctor. She said, well, you need to take your medicine. I'm not taking that anymore. I'm sorry. I don't have to take it anymore. And she never gave it to me again. And I've been fine. She never even put down on the insurance back then because that I had epilepsy back then because for the simple reason that when you did that, you could not get insured.
Right.
So she would never put it down. And she told me, she said, never put down that you've had epilepsy. I said, okay, I won't. And I haven't. So I get insured.
I want to go back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And many people struggle with this, but you got it firsthand and your mother got an opportunity to hear it and witness it. Not only were you her daughter, but you were kind of quote unquote a patient, and she was more of a doctor to you first than she was a mother. You know, the doctor said you need to take it, but the mother's heart heard, Mommy, I can't do this anymore, and I believe God. What did that do for her as a doctor? Do you remember, even at 13?
She was really nervous to begin with because she was really afraid that I was going to have a big seizure because she would tell you, you need to take your medicine, Lo. You need to take your medicine. And I told her, I said, I don't have to take it anymore. And she really wasn't understanding what I said. was saying, I just knew I did not have to take this medication anymore. I just knew that these seizures were through. I knew because of who I talked to. When she finally realized it, she began to listen to other things that I would be saying as well. I would tell her about her patients. I did that when I was 6, and she didn't believe me. I told her this was Christmas Eve. She had a little boy that was 6 years old that was hit by a car, and I had bought her one of her Christmas presents, and it was a pair of leopard slippers. And she put them on. She said, "Lo," she said, "I'm not going to be back until later." She said, "But I'm going to open this Christmas present if it's okay with you." So I handed it to her. I wanted her to open the slippers. She put them on. I said, "Mama, please don't wear them. Please don't wear them while you're there." She said, "Well, why can't I wear them?" I said, "You're going to get blood on them and it'll never come out." And she came home after everything. And when I saw the blood on her shoes, I told her, I said, "Mama," I said, "he's not going to make it." I said, "Those people up there are not going to watch him well enough for him to make it. So just get you some rest." And they called her a little bit later in the morning and told her that the little boy had aspirated and died. So that was the beginning of my journey with her, and beginning to really listen to me at 13. She listened to me at 6, but she really began to listen to me at 13, and knew that sometimes what came out of my mouth was exactly what was going to happen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is it? Wait a minute, I didn't get no tissue. I didn't think it was gonna be one of those kind of shows. So y'all know I would lift this shirt up and it's just amazing because many people, number one, don't stick to their guns when they know something and they speak to the doctor. You know, they'll say they're speaking with authority, and you need to listen to me. And at 13, to have that authority for yourself and know your body well enough. And we talk about that a lot on this show, is knowing yourself, knowing your body well enough to say to the doctor, "No, I'm not taking that med," or "That's not going to work. Let's find something different." And so we appreciate you coming on, because you haven't heard any of the shows. Y'all know she hasn't heard, doesn't know what we talked about. So she's confirming, affirming what we have been talking about, is taking responsibility for our bodies, being our own best advocate. But we're going to go back even further, because what's wonderful about this her story is that your mother, what type of, first of all, let's go back some. She was single.
Yes.
And what type of medical doctor was she?
My mother was a general practitioner. She was a surgeon.
And she how old were you when she adopted you?
At birth. My biological mother, God rest her soul as well, because I loved her to death too.
To life, honey. You don't want nobody dying around
you. Life and beyond the beyond. I love them both, and they both gave me some very, very good advice before they passed away. But my mother was a general surgeon. She was a professor at Meharry Medical College as well, from where she graduated from. They have a lot of doctors who graduate from there. And the one thing that I can say about those doctors that come from Meharry Medical College, they are doctors who care. They're nothing like the doctors that I have seen over my lifetime I've had a few of them uh, come from Vanderbilt because they have been trying to take over Meharry for the simple fact that they can't have a dental school because we already have one. So there's only one allowed in Nashville and or in the state. I don't know how that goes, but I know they want to get rid of Meharry for the simple medical college because they have the dental school and they cannot have one. But anyway, um, they have very caring doctors, and I've noticed that the doctors that have come from Vanderbilt slough you off. Of course, Vanderbilt used to do a long time ago tests on us, as well as they did in Tuskegee with the syphilis and with the cancer and things like that. And we never got compensated for any of those things. My mother had applied to go be on staff at Vanderbilt, but because she was Black, they told her no. But when she finally made a name for herself, because she wasn't only a general surgeon, a surgeon, and a professor over at Meharry Medical College, my mom was also the first Black female, Black woman in the state of Tennessee to be able to adopt a child. And she was also the first Black woman elected to the Tennessee State Legislature in Nashville, Tennessee. So she helped start the Black History Week, because at first we only got a week.
Yeah, correct.
and then on down the line, it turned into a month. But I mean, she did a lot of things for Black people. She even got a medical license to travel to be able to see Black patients in other states, for the simple fact that back in that day, in the 50s and the 60s and some of the 70s, we were not allowed to go to these hospitals. If they were white hospitals, white doctors would not see us. They would not treat us, much less, look at us. They didn't want to look at us. They didn't want to touch us. They didn't want anything to do with us. So my mother got a license to practice in Mount Bayou, Mississippi. And I remember the times going down there with her where the police would stop her, especially when she had her House of Representative tags on her gold Cadillac. And yeah, and it was a sedan DeVille. And they would stop her and they would call up here, who is this Black woman with these license plates, DLB? And so the governor at the time, who was Buford Ellington, told him, don't you dare touch her.
Wow.
She better come back to Nashville in one piece. And I'm a little kid all over on the other side, as they used to call me Loudmouth when I was little. You better not touch my mama. I promise you, if you touch her, I'm going to kill you, And I would do things like that because I knew how white people treated us back then. Mm-hmm. But I was brought up to love everyone until they do something to you. Let them know about it. And if they don't understand what you're saying, or they just refuse to change their ways, feed them with a long handle spoon. Mm-hmm. Well, my long handle spoon is, you have given me some scissors, so now I'm cutting you off. And that's just the way I've had to live my life.
Wow. It is now 18 minutes past the hour. It is 4:18. We want to say thank you so much for tuning into Rolling on the Road. And our guest today is Miss Lola Denise Brown. She is a native of Nashville, Tennessee. And we're getting just a piece of her life. And we appreciate you today for sharing your story, because many don't know. I mean, to have the first woman, Black woman in the state of Tennessee to adopt a baby as a single woman, you know, be a doctor and a surgeon at that. How did she, how was the relationship between your birth mother and her for you, for her to be able to get you at birth?
Well, my birth mother approached her
Mm,
and told her, she said, I'm having a baby, and she said, and I need someone to take this baby, whether it's a boy, a girl, complete or incomplete, diseased or not diseased. I need someone to take the baby. I heard you want to adopt a child, and I want you to adopt this baby.
oh, wow.
And so my mom said yes. There's really a lot more to the story, because at that time, my biological birth mother had children to take care of her family. And so it was established that she would pay so much and she would allow her to adopt me. And that's what happened. And the reason I know that is because I had people on my father's side who were angry that they didn't get me, which I'm kind of glad they didn't, but they were angry they didn't get me, and just started spouting off and telling me, you know, what my biological mother was doing. But I let her know, you know, I understood that I wasn't mad
Mm-hmm.
because I was in a good place. And because I was in a good place, it allowed me to love her even more. So,
That's, yeah, that she got to choose where you went and she chose right. That's
yeah,
nice.
she
That
did.
is nice. That is nice. So you knew from the very beginning that you were adopted.
Um, I knew from the age of about 4.
Okay.
Yeah, I knew from the age of 4. And because I was having a discussion with my mom one day, because I saw this lady going down the street and her belly was way out, you know. I was like, Mommy, what's wrong with that lady? She said, well, she's going to have a baby. And she said I was quiet for a minute, and she said she thought I was through with it. And I asked her, well, where is that baby coming from? She
Oh
said,
Lord.
oh, down there by that little hole where you pee at. And she said she thought she had answered it great for me. And she said that all of a sudden I said, Mama, you know that baby's too big to come out from that small hole. So anyway, that was my beginning of knowing about babies being born, being adopted, and all of that. So she never held back from me.
That's good.
Yeah, she never held back anything from me.
So did you have the opportunity to spend time with your birth family, your father or your mother?
Yeah, my dad. I went to visit. I went to visit him once. I used to see him all the time coming down 32nd Avenue and John Merritt Boulevard. He had this yellow Lincoln Continental, the kind that had the tire on the back, like the tire
Yes.
on.
Oh, I
That's
remember that.
Well, that was my Uncle Valdo's car, but my dad would come to town and wouldn't have his vehicle, so he would drive his Uncle Val's and he would ride down the street and look at me. And I would speak him out and say, what are you looking at me for? I'm 12 years old. You need to go on somewhere. And he would do like that, you know. And when I finally met him, he said, you know, I think you're going to be okay. He said, because you've cussed me out enough, you know. But my biological mother, and he used to play drums for Ray Charles, as a matter of fact. His name was Milt Turner. But my biological mother, she was a beautician. She did hair. She did my hair, as a matter of fact, because I wouldn't let any of the other beauticians do my hair because they were always burning me. They were putting hot combs in my hair, and Mama didn't like it. I didn't like it. They were always burning my scalp, and she wouldn't do it. And my mom just let her take over the hair and everything. She knew who she was. She knew that she was a beautician, and that was one way I got to know her. I've been knowing her since I was a little girl.
So y'all need to know that this her real her. Right there. She don't have no weave in it. She ain't got no pieces. Ain't no 27 piece. It's not no wig. Is not that is all her.
Yeah, I've
Do like this. Do like this.
I've
Just
suffered.
do like this. Just See, that's all her.
I didn't get to finish it completely, and I'm going to be honest with you because I told you I was going to straighten it so it would kind of look like the picture that you had of me. But right back here, I have a little ball because I wanted to make sure I was on time for this interview. So I got a ball back here, and I'm just showing it. So
see, that's what I'm talking. Just this conversation between girlfriends. Just that's it. I want to say thank you to Bernice Brazil, who has been watching all the way from Texas. Hey, Bernice, and thank you for the love. We got all these little hearts that are going up along the side. I appreciate y'all. Love you, love you, love you, love you. The time is now 4:25, 25 minutes after the hour, and you are tuned into Rolling on the Road with Dr. Kimberly. If you're not busy this Saturday, from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m., please come out to the community fair offered by Pilgrim Rest Missionary Baptist Church, located at 510 Martin Luther King Boulevard. We will be in the parking lot. Yes, we will. We'll have bouncy house. We'll have food, entertainment. You can give blood and get a $50 gift certificate. And hey, we want to say hello to Shayna, who is tuned in all the way from Bel Air, Maryland. And hey, I'm going to talk to you after the show. I do have an order for you for body butter. Yeah, we have all kinds of stuff that's going on here. But we're going to say thank you to Miss Shayna, who is watching. But if you are here in the Grand Rapids area in the 49507, yes, 49507, the third ward, the largest one in Kent County, you need to come on out. You need to come on out. And I will be there. Whoop, whoop.
me too.
So we'll go live. I heard that you just said that your father played the drums. Did you get any of that musical inclination from him?
Yes. I can play a little drums. I play a little piano. I have played violin, and mostly I sing. But that was taken away from me.
Well, go get it back.
I've been trying. I've been praying, and I believe God is going to give me my breath back. I had a doctor. I have COPD. I used to smoke, and I ended up with COPD and emphysema. Well, before that, after that, really, I learned that I had stage 3 non-small cell lung cancer. And I had quit smoking a year before in 2018. Well, in June 13th of 2019, I learned that I had non-small cell lung cancer. Once I learned that, I had to go through 2 weeks of radiation. And I ended up going, I had 2 weeks of radiation in June. My treatment started in September, the end of August, September. And I went into remission January 7th of 2020, right before the pandemic hit. And what is so weird about that is because the date that I was diagnosed with non-small cell lung cancer was June 13th, 2019. My mom died June 13th. Not my biological, but my adopted mom died June 13th, 2004. But the really crazy part about it was that her birthday was January the 7th. And that was when I went into remission in 2020. My mom was born 1914. And
Oh,
so,
wow.
yeah, so that's kind of a deep thing for me. When I realized that, I just said, God, you just talk to everybody about me. Mama, keep talking, mama, keep talking. So she has.
Shayna said, God is so good. Congratulations on your remission.
Thank you. But that's not even the end of it. That was 2020. I went into remission in 2021. I had brain cancer, and I didn't have to go through radiation, but I had one radiation treatment, and we blasted that out of my brain, and it was gone. And then 2 years later, I had another tumor in my brain that was cancerous, and we blasted it out. And then just last year, I had vulvar cancer and melanoma cancer. Well, we did the surgery for the vulvar and the melanoma. But when the doctor went in and saw the melanoma, he said it was very aggressive on the inside. So I ended up going through 6 weeks of radiation, 5 days a week. And I had 5 weeks of chemotherapy, and I'm cancer-free for the 5th time.
And we thank God. That
So,
5, the number of grace. Taz sends you some hearts. Hey, Taz, thanks for joining in. We appreciate you. It's just amazing to have you here and for you to be able to tell your story and to know that God is a healer. You started with us saying that you had seizures from what, 4 or 6 years old?
6 years old.
At 6 years old. And to be able to have that conversation with God that you didn't want to do this anymore. You didn't want to take the medication. And so for him to stop the seizure, so you have not had one since you were 13, you already had a record of what he could do in having that conversation. What does it take to have that level of faith? I mean, at 13 years old, you're thinking about so many other things other than believing in the unbelievable, seeing the unseen.
You know, when I was a little girl, I started going to church when I was about 2 or 3 years old. My godmother, Lucille Brown, who was a beautician as well, whom I would not let do my hair.
You know what?
I had to bring her up. But she would take me to church, and I loved going to church. But I would see everybody in there, you know, jumping up and down, hollering and screaming, shouting and doing all of these things. And I would come back home and I'd say, Mama, you know, I hope God doesn't pinch me like he pinches those other people, because they sure were hollering and screaming in church today. My mama would just look at me and she'd say,
Oh, Lord, that is
not going to
hilarious.
bother you. He would tell me he's not going to bother you like that. He's not going to bother you like that. But I mean, I kind of knew I was, because I really loved going to church. And when I was able to go on my own, we lived across the street from a, not United, but an AME church, an African Methodist Episcopalian church.
Mhm.
And I used to have a little boy come across the street and walk me to church every Sunday. And I would always go over there and I'd sit over there, and I knew the pastor, I knew all the people that were in there. And when I finally got older, once we had moved away from that area and we moved over by Tennessee State University, uh, I began to feel like something was missing. But I was going back. Mama had made friends with this pastor named Andrew L. Porter and his wife. And they would come and pick me up and take me to their church. My mom was not really that much into going to church, but she would go there when she was asked to speak and things like that. But I always wanted to go to church. And I ended up having to leave that church because that pastor ended up being a pedophile from the time I was 10 up until I was 13. And so I left the church and I went to this church up the street from my mom's house called Friendship Missionary Baptist Church. And the Reverend Moses Herring was there. And I told him what had been going on. And when I told him, he said, "Well, you stay here." He said, "Lady Bird," his wife's name was Lady Bird. He said, "Lady Bird's not going to let anything happen to you. You can believe that." And I went there up until I was 22. But my mom, my adopted mom, she had a hard time believing that a pastor of a church would touch a child or another woman. I mean, it was back in that time when things like that were kept so hush hush. And you just didn't, things you didn't speak and you didn't believe. But before she died, she apologized to me for not believing me and told me that she found out he wasn't only touching me, but just about every woman in the church. So, that was a blessing to me for me to hear that, but it did not stop me from going through the things that I went through, like having 6 illegitimate children on my own, individually by myself. She was very angry and for a long time, for like 29 years, didn't speak to me. And when she did start speaking to me, it was because a friend of ours, a mutual friend of ours named Mickey Thrillkill, went and had told her, found out some things that people had lied on me about. And it had shut her down from talking to me. I couldn't get anything out of her. I couldn't understand why. And I kept saying, "Lord, come on, what have I done? What do I need to do?" And then I had another godmother that just outright lied on me and told her that she had seen me and I said she was crazy and I'd be glad when she died. I've never done anything like that. And I left that godmother alone and began to long for the type of godparents that were around my mom, who knew me, who knew that I was not the type of person people were saying I was. And they were all dead. So I had no one else to go to but God himself. And I know this is unusual for you to hear me say God himself, because I do call him the Most High. I don't want to seem like I'm prejudiced in any kind of way, but I do believe him to be my creator. I do believe that he created it for us from the dirt of this earth. He molded us. Him and those angels molded all of us into who we are and what we look like. And if that's the case, when I die and they say ashes to ashes and dust to dust, that we go back to the earth. Like I said, I don't want to seem like I'm prejudiced or anything like that, but I've never seen white dirt. I've never seen any dirt that is white. I've seen white sand. I've seen white ashes. Uh, I've even seen stuff that can ooze like an infection of some type, and it's like it's not even a white color. It's like a tan, you know. So I don't want to discriminate against any religion whatsoever, but I do believe that our people are among the chosen. We are the chosen. And if we could just get back to where we were in God, I believe that a lot of these things, these chains that are still being put around us, would have to break. And it's like Tasha Cobb says, break every chain. Every chain will have to break for the simple fact that we are his children. You know, he made us. It was not we ourselves who made us. It says that in Psalms. So how do we put chains on something that doesn't even belong to us? How do we mistreat others and say we love God? I don't get that. I don't get that at all.
Quite a few comments here. We're going to break in, but I want to say thank you for your transparency and the courage to be transparent. And if you are someone who is experiencing what she has gone through, please tell an adult, tell someone else, until somebody hears you and there is help, and you dial 911. You know, you just dial 911, but make sure you stay safe and that you have protection. Shantae Paul said, amen. Shayna said, you are a walking miracle. God is still in the blessing business. Thank you for sharing your story. This is truly needed.
Well, I couldn't, I can't just not say something. I'm here for a reason. When I was going through those 6 weeks of radiation, I used to go downstairs in the hospital because the radiation department was in the basement. And I used to go down there and I would see people who looked like they had lost all hope, that this was their last time, I just can't do this anymore, or like they wanted to scream bloody murder, whatever it is. They had this look on their face that looked like death. Mm-hmm. And I got so tired of going down to that basement, looking at those people, that I took it upon myself. You know, the word of God tells you sometimes you must encourage yourself.
Yes.
I didn't have anybody doing that to me or for me. And so when I would walk in the hospital and I'd pass the receptionist, I'd look at her and say, time to get my glow on. And she said, oh, are you going to get your glow on today? Are you going to, what did she say? Are you going to shine as bright as the sun? I told her, I said, I'm going to be brighter than the sun.
All right.
And
now.
she said, oh, I just love your attitude. I just love you. I said, I'll see you later. And I would go downstairs and I would see those people downstairs. And all of a sudden I started throwing my hands up in the air and I'd say, Glow Diva's in the house. Time to get my glow on. Are you ready? You know, and this type of thing. But these people, they started looking at, who is this crazy black woman talking about? My name is Glow Diva. Time to get my glow on. Well, eventually it worked. Because sometimes when you begin to encourage yourself, it starts encouraging other people. And evidently that's what was going on, because I started coming in and people would look up and I'd say, Glodiva's in the house. And honey, some people would get up and clap, some would get up and come and hug me. I just love your, I just love this. I just love, and they started talking to me, and
Mhm.
I started seeing this look on their face just disappear, you know. And some of them left before I did, some of them were there after me. But those are the type of things that you have to do sometimes in order to get through something that is bothering you. The treatments, they didn't bother me, they slowed me down. The recovery is what was really bad for me, because I
Mhm.
was in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
And my my dear husband, is what I call him, my husband, he didn't know what to do, because I'd be in there moaning, groaning, crying, hollering, and screaming after all the treatments. And he just didn't get it. But a lot of people, when you're going through something like that, if they're not going through it, they're not going to understand it.
Mhm.
I believe.
We got a comment. Shayna says that it's great that you're sharing because it's someone right now going through what you have experienced and they need to hear you share this, and that there are power in your words.
I thank you, Shayna, because I didn't have anybody to tell me what I needed to do, or, everything's going to be all right. And, they pat you on the back and, but I didn't have anybody to do that,
And you know
and,
what? That is the person that I saw show up last Sunday. That's the person that showed up. And that's why this means so much to me, because it's like I'm giving you something. Because really, you can sit here and you do like this because you can feel it when it gets ready to come on. So you got to find something that's gonna just bring you back around. So I've been wearing them ever since I got them, because my
yep.
body just been trying to adjust
Hmm.
after having had such horrible seizures. And if you missed it at the very beginning, we talked about how 2 Sundays ago, just you being there, the strength that I could feel coming
Hmm.
from you, that it's going to be all right. You don't have to worry about
Yeah.
anything. God
Yeah.
is not going to take you out here. All these things that go through your mind, but to know that there is somebody who's right there who knows and understands, and is not, got a fan. And there was nothing. I don't want to take any of that for granted. Those that came, but when you have been through so much, and my listening family, my viewing family, they know more about me than I know about me, and they'll tell you, all the things that I've gone through. That somebody who gets it, and you don't get it till you get it, and you don't get it till you've gotten it. Y'all catch that? You don't get it till you've gotten it, and you've been through it, and you know how to stand still in the moment for somebody else. And you stood still in the moment for me.
Hmm.
And I could feel that. We want to say thank you to Betty Johnson, who is watching. She is all the way in Overton, Kansas.
Ooh.
Yes. Kansas is in the house today.
Hey.
Thank you, Mother Betty. Oh, she said awesome. Thank you, Mother Betty. We appreciate you. And she's another one. I appreciate her. She doesn't always know everything that's happening in the moment, but she does, because God, has got to share it with her, because the next day she sent me this wonderful blessing for Monday, and she said, "Stay encouraged." Was her
Mm.
message. She said, "Love you, stay encouraged." And I was like, oh, I just started crying because I was trying to get the doctor on the phone to say, I just experienced this. And they got me in within 12 hours from having the episode. And they went in there and they changed my pump. She told me I could do 10. I said I wanted to do 20. So we agreed to do 15.
That bargaining chip.
We just, okay, we'll just go with 15. And you guys know that I have this pump in my body that supposed to manage my body. It's supposed to be the manager. So the catheter goes all the way up to my T1, which for the amount of medication would, make me a medical quadriplegic, if you will, because it goes directly into my spinal fluid. So it's going throughout my whole body. And, here we are bantering and my body is still like this.
Yeah.
It's angry, but I appreciated her saying, let's do in the middle. And then we can always come back in a day or two and go back up, go up some more. So I said, okay, but I knew that I had an MRI coming up and I always get anesthesia. And, and they give you fentanyl and all that other wonderful stuff to go with it. So I knew I would be covered and it would help my body to go back to the way that it needs to be. Or there are bits, getting the 15. So she was correct. 15 was good, along with having some anesthesia. That's a shame. You need all of that to get your.
Some people would call us hypochondriacs, but we're not.
But for somebody to know and to understand, it just, okay, I'm not crying.
It's really crazy because when I saw you have your seizure, my husband was sitting next to me. I said, excuse me. I said, I've got to get up and go over there. And when I got over there, it was like everybody was trying to block my way. And I was like, okay, Lord, I said, you need to get some of these behinds up out of my face because I said, I do know what I'm doing. And what I was wanting to do is I was wanting to put my hands on you. But God had spoken to me and he said, don't do that right now, because everybody here does not, everybody here is not, I don't even know I don't know how to say it. And he's not giving it to me, but he told me not to touch you right then and there. I do know that much. And then the young lady that sits next to you with the beautiful fro hair.
Yes.
That's my baby right there. But she kind of scooted over and you said, sit down right here. Come over here. Come on this side. That's what you told me. And I came over there and you said, sit down. And so when I sat down, I was trying to rub your legs because I knew it was all in your legs. I saw it all in your hands. I saw it all here. And I saw it in your face. And I said,
they were getting ready to call 911 because with my face contorted, they were like, she's not having no seizure, she's having a stroke. And it's like, no, she's having a seizure. And I knew it was a seizure, but it can look like a stroke because I've had seizures too. I have had a stroke once before, but it was a mild mini stroke. And I went to the hospital. That's why I'm in the wheelchair. What is from my stroke?
Yeah, I went to the hospital. I called a doctor friend of mine. I said, look here. I said, I just got through cooking breakfast. And that's how I was talking. And my face is really contorted. What in the world is wrong with me? He said, are you hurting? I said, no. He said, do you feel uncomfortable? And I said, no. He said, let me call you on FaceTime. And he FaceTimed and he said, go to the hospital. You've had a stroke. So I called an Uber because I didn't want the neighbors to be nosy. And I got in
You
that Uber and I
what do
told
you
that man,
do?
yeah, I got in the Uber. I told that man, I said, you need to step on it. I said, I'm having a stroke. See my face? And he looked at me and he drove as fast as he possibly could. But when my friend who was over emergency services at Meharry, he called me, Dr. Brown's daughter's on her way in here, and you all need to take care of her right now. And I'm not playing with you. And yeah. And I can hear Wayne talking now. But when I got there, they treated me very well. And the very next day, my face was straight.
Oh, look at God.
The doctor didn't know what to do. He had brought all these students in to see me. And when he looked, he did a like that. I said, hey, Dr. Vital. And he said, what happened? I said, what are you talking about? And I didn't know my face was straight. And
Oh, okay.
yeah, I didn't know it was straight. And he showed me. I said, I don't know. He took students on out and discharged me. I'm just a weird person.
It just amazes me how it affects people differently. They can have it the same way. And what is she said? Great sense of humor. I love it.
Thanks, Shayna. I mean, what I don't want to cry about it. I have to laugh at me because
You,
so many things in my life, you know, there's been so many things in my life, even down to my love life and everything, you know. It's just been a really, I have to say it's been a really great journey, and I'm still on that journey.
hold on. Put a pen right there. Did y'all hear
Okay.
that? Is that she is on a journey, and it's been a great journey, whether it has been good, bad, happy, or sad. She's created another persona to help her to deal with it. Some folks might consider that, well, but we do what we got to do.
Yes.
They have some legal terms for that. She said, yes, say it again, because what's the use in crying? And it's really not. And where I wish that Vertanji was here, Dr. V was here today, because she'll tell you in a minute that I'll say to her, we don't have time to cry right now. Let's get it together. Let's go on here. Let's put our face on and deal with these people. We'll cry later if that's what we need to do. But right now, that's not what we're doing. We don't have
Right.
time. We don't have time. We just need to come up with a plan, work the plan. And then when we hit a snag, then we just rework it. But we're going to do the plan. But we just got to be moving forward. And so it's very, very rare to find somebody who has the same spirit about when God gives us things. Because I tell people all the time that I was more crippled being in 6-inch heels than I ever have been in any one of my wheelchairs. And y'all know I have a plethora. I went from a Bentley to a Rolls Royce. And so it's really your mindset. What is that, Taz? Hey, Taz. Taz is clapping. Yes. Because she know. We just got done talking before the show of things that we have in the hopper. And I'm definitely pulling you in. So Taz, see her? Yes. See that lady right there? We're going to have her talking. Because people need that energy. They need to hear it because there's not enough folks that are around them that are speaking life and speaking positivity. Because people will kill you all the time. That's why I tell people when I send something to them, I say, I love you to life. Because people will say, oh, I love you to death. Don't kill me. Speak life. And they're like, wow, that do make sense, don't it? I said, yes, don't love me to the grave.
Mm-hmm.
Love me to this side, love me to life. And so I just started saying, I love you to
I just
life. And
started. I love you to life.
it's
It's
wonderful when it comes back to me.
It
Someone says
is.
something, and I'm just like, oh my God, they're paying attention to me. Oh, I love them. Oh, look at all the Lord. What it oh, we got lots of stuff here. So Taz said yes. When she said that we're on a journey, I'm like, amen. And Shayna said yes. So there's Taz's comment. And then Shayna says, yes, please speak life. Amen. But you have to. You have to speak life to you, and you have to teach
Yes.
people
And
how
and
to come alongside of you, when you're going through. Like you said, your husband didn't know what to do, even if it
he
was
did.
nothing but to come in there and know that he was checking on you. Sometimes that's just enough. I may not need you to do nothing,
Mm-hmm.
don't touch nothing, don't say
Mm-hmm.
nothing. No, the fact that I know that you were right there, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
telling you, that energy is so strong, just strong, 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 that had it not been for your energy, I don't think that I would have come through as well, because it was too much negative,
Mm-hmm.
naysaying energy. They were counting the time and saying, okay, how long each seizure was lasting. And then, okay, we're going to dial 911. All right, this is it. We need to clear the building. I mean, it was just so much chatter
It was.
that I would have been out of here.
And then they told said she needs to go home.
It was like, what, to go home and die? Why would you send someone home alone to
You were
experience
in
this?
the right place.
That's my point. I want to say, Betty Johnson says, thank you for obeying what God has for you to do. And that's
You were
it
in the
right
right
there.
place.
That's it. Thank you, Mother Betty. That is it. Everybody has been given something different to do along this journey called life. And yours in that moment, and I have it right here, and I'll keep showing everybody. This right here lets me know that she knows her assignment, and I need to find um Pastor Sean and get you a t-shirt, because I gave them out to certain women, and the t-shirt says that they understand their assignment.
Mm-hmm.
It says they understand. That means they understand their God-given assignment.
I do.
You understand yours. You've been doing yours and walking in it a very, very long time.
Time.
At 4 years old. Do you tell how old you are?
I'm 68, going on 69. I'll be 69 the 27th of next month. And I'm still cute.
Honey, let me tell y'all, and I'm gonna say it too, because I have hair envy, and she got good hair. I mean, I don't know what they call themselves trying to straighten her hair for, because she got that real good, nice, fine, with the nice look, maybe a little bit of wave, and it's show them your hair. See, it's wig out here. That's all hers. Ain't no weave, ain't no wig. That's all her hair for real.
It looks like a wire. It looks like a wire because I didn't put any oil in it or nothing. I said, she's got that picture of me. I said, because I sent you the picture of the girls. If you had put that picture up, I would have been trying to straighten it out.
Y'all, I just want y'all to know she sent me like 45 pictures, okay? Taz says you look amazing.
Thank you.
But I love it. Those of you who are just now tuning in, it is now 5:03, 3 minutes after the hour. I told her that we were going to go as long as we needed to today, because sometimes people just need you to stay right there with them. And
Mm-hmm.
some women that are on here today, We can't name everybody, but those are y'all that's here, that's there. Know that we're here for you. And you need to know that I'm not the onlyest one that can come on here and tell all her business.
Well,
and
I
still,
know how to
and still smiling. And I just turned 59. So I said, I'm 59 and I'm still fine. And I'm just going to keep on rolling. And I'm going to keep showing up. And we're going to keep talking about it. We're going to keep talking about it and know that you can always tap into us because we're here. You can tap in and just the energy that's here. I want to say thank you so much to Shantae Paul. She's another one that's been going through, that's been living it. We were talking about the things that she's experiencing. So here it is. We have this conglomerate, this collaboration, this cohort of beautiful, Black, strong women getting along, loving on one another, and sharing their stories. Sharing their stories.
Yeah.
Sharing their stories that you can get through. Shantae, no, not Shantae. Yes, Shantae has 6 children as well.
I have 5 boys, 1 girl.
And she's half and half. 3 girls, 3 boys. Is it half and half? Yes, half and half. Half and half. But I'm telling you, I love the platform. Love this platform. And I said I wasn't crying today, but you didn't kind of made me go there.
Well,
but sometimes it's good. It's cathartic. And it's a sign of weakness. It's really not. Mm-hmm. It's the joy of knowing that someone else knows and understands. And you know what, Shayna? I'll do that. She asked me if I could do a panel.
Yeah, that would be fun.
And I sure will.
My purple queen. I have to say this. Mm-hmm. Because you've already said some of the stuff that I tell people. Number one, you're right. Life and death are in the power of a tongue. When I first came down with cancer, I wasn't married to Butch, but he called me in the hospital talking about, "Are you okay?" I just called to see if everything was all right. I said, "Yeah, I'm okay." "Why?" "Are you sure you're okay?" I said, "I'm fine. What is up?" Because we weren't speaking at the time. I was so mad at him, I could have bopped him over the head with a baseball bat. He's, I'm just so sorry. I'm just so sorry. Why didn't you tell me you were sick and you had cancer? I said, "Look, let me tell you something." I said, "When you know how to talk to me, that's when you can call me back." I hung up in his face.
How long have y'all been together, or how long have y'all known each other?
Since 2008.
Oh, a minute. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he never did call back because he knows me. Mm-hmm. He knows me.
What did you say? So if y'all wasn't here earlier, she talked about her mother they would call her Lola Loudmouth. Okay.
They used to call me Loudmouth.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I still am Loudmouth. He'll tell you. I'm going to say what I have to say. You can cut me off or whatever, but eventually, my mama always told me, I named you Lola for a reason. She said, whatever Lola wants, she said, Lola's going to get it eventually. So I know how to sit back and be patient and watch things happen when I've already told you something's going to happen. I said, well, I tried to tell you, but you didn't want to listen to me. Mm-hmm. So I do know the power of the power of life and death.
I just got a t-shirt. It's coming. It's been flashing on my phone saying it's just got shipped from Temu.
Yes.
This
Stop
comment
like
says,
a princess.
if you messed up, you should go back and do what Kim told you to do the first time. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of Kim t-shirts, you know,
I
from
love that. I love
Temu.
that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to
And
get into those too.
Sheen had some. So I got a bunch of Kim t-shirts. Yeah.
Well, the thing is that life and death are in the power of the tongue. But I also had to realize this. All these Bible verses that we're taught coming up eventually are going to pay off, because now I know that no weapon formed against me is going to prosper.
Hallelujah.
I don't have time for anything or anybody that's trying to pull me down in the bucket like them, the crab mentality.
Crabs in the
See one
bucket.
crab go up and it brings the other one down. I don't have
Mhm.
time for people with crab mentalities. Once I realize you're not for me, well, that means that you've given me some scissors to cut you off. I don't care if you're family. I love my family, but I have one sister I refuse to speak to. And I told her, when I die, don't come to my funeral, because see, your fake tears are going to get you hurt by my children. So
You gonna tell somebody they get banned from the funeral? Jesus.
look, I plan on being buried up here. So if she wants to come to that, they can beat her up and leave her up here in the snow if they want to. I don't care. I'm just kidding.
Well,
No.
time to end the show, y'all. Time to end the show. Gotta go. Gotta go. We want to say thank you to Shantae Paul for the love. We love her. And speaking of which, you guys, I've had her and her partner on the show, her and Dave. You know that Shantae has two daughters, her angels, that have autism, and Dave has a daughter that has autism as well. And they are running for America's top couple. So I'm gonna need y'all to vote. Today is 2 for 1. So if you're on social media, you're on Facebook, you can vote, and your one vote counts as 2 today for them to win. The grand prize is $20,000. And what they plan on doing is starting a respite care for those parents who have children with autism.
Oh, that's good.
And so we need them to win so they can get the money, so that we can start helping these folks. And for Tanji and Taz, I am going to, as soon as I get off of here, put all of y'all in a group chat so that we can. Taz says, is there a link? Absolutely, there is a link. And I will put the link up. As soon as I'm off, so I can stay focused. So as soon as I'm off, I will put the link on my page so you guys can get to it. I'll put them on all. We're on 6 platforms. I will put them on 4. So I'll do them all on Facebook, because you have to be verified through Facebook. And we figured out today, those who are not on Facebook that want to, they also do have a donation. So today, there is a 2 for 1 also if you do cash donation, and the minimum is $10. And that's 20 votes right there. And $10 to get respite care for those parents who have children with autism. Taz, look, she was the first one that says, yup, look at her. She said, okay, thanks. Because she knows her son has autism as well. And they're together 24/7. We're trying to work out now where we can be together on Saturday and get care for him. So I'm telling you, Shantae, this would have been perfect. So we need her to win, her and her partner to win. And they're going to do a comedy show, because both of them right now, they both do comedy. And we're going to have them come on next Tuesday and talk about what their vision is for the gala that they want to have when they win, and what it would look like for respite care, because both of them right now Karen, that's 3 children in one household
Mm,
with autism, and
mm.
Tay is nonverbal. So many of you know, and Taz, you know about your baby not being nonverbal. So we have somebody, y'all see her right there, that knows and understands, and we're gonna pull her in, y'all. We pulling her in.
I have two grandchildren who are autistic, but they are verbal. Uh, and that's something that's really a thing to have to deal with,
Mm-hmm.
because autistic children, verbal or nonverbal, that can be psychologically taxing on that parent, and for someone who
Talk
wishes
about it, mother.
to,
Talk about it. Talk
yeah,
about it.
someone who wishes to do something like they're trying to do couple of the year 20, yes, 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 you know um, it's really amazing, uh, the things that the positions that God puts us in to bless
Oh,
us with.
she said, "Say it louder."
It is. It's really amazing, the positions that He puts us in to be blessed. That's just like when we moved here. My husband and I moved here. We left everything behind. Did I send you the pictures, Dr. Kim, at all? We got everything. We came here and got everything free.
Yes, you sent me pictures of your new home. You in stages, and now with everything, it was nice. It's
Yeah,
really nice, y'all.
I had told him, you just watch what God is going to do. Even when we passed Pilgrim's Rest, I said, I don't know what it is about this church. I said, but either I'm going to be going there or you're going to be playing there. And I said, and then again, it may be both. And I said, watch God. And we're both there. He starts
Dr.
playing our organ soon.
Dr. V said, "Amen."
Yeah.
I'm telling you, we are gonna have an East meets West together, because Dr. V is over on the East side, and y'all know I'm about to do my example. This is Michigan. She's over here by the thumb. I'm over here by the pinky, and we're gonna all come together at my office. We're gonna do a walkthrough, and we're gonna get this together, because autism, and I have my numbers together today. 1 in 36
Mm.
are being diagnosed with autism. So, we really need to come together and help our own community, because we have our own needs without adding. Uh,
Yeah. And
we got our own needs
yeah.
without adding on, autism, and then being able to, go in and access and get the care. I mean, just to talk to Taz today, and the people who don't know, and the frustration of those who don't know, to tell you what you can't have, what you can't get, and what's not there. Trust me, I live better than some folks that ain't got no disabilities.
Mm-hmm.
Because when they come to my home and they're just, wait a minute, you living like this? I mean, because when I first, uh, I think I was in a wheelchair 3 years, maybe 4. By year 3, I had a car. And my first car was a Range Rover. And I'm telling you, I would wheel out to go to my car, and the comments that people would make, like, how dare somebody in that wheelchair, got the nerve to be driving that? I don't even have that. Well, Hunty, you better go back and have this conversation with God.
Mm.
I know, Bertaggi said, this is confirmation.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's what we're here for.
Mm-hmm.
God takes care of you in the midst of what you're going through. He really, really does. I'm sitting here, my clinician, we talked about it. He says, do you realize, he said, that chair that you're in is $45,000, and people who are civilians have to justify to their insurance company why they need a chair like what you have. And the VA just freely gave it to you. I don't have no copay. I don't have nothing. And not only did I get one chair, I got two. So I have what, about $50,000 worth just for two chairs. Two that I received this year.
That's beautiful.
I mean, it does everything but cook, but it can take me to where I need to go to give me something to eat. You know, I'm just saying. I put that seatbelt on, hit the button, and boom, I'm gone.
I'm gonna have to come by and cook.
You know, thank you. I appreciate it. See what I'm look at there. God got a ram in the bush. Thank you.
I will come by and cook. I sure will.
God's got a ram in the bush.
Look here, I'll give you some of that good down home Southern cooking. I sure will.
But I'm just so excited how God is just really aligning everything together. You know, for those who have vision, he gives provision. And it comes in so many different forms. And I want to say a special thank you to Shantaz Jones, lovingly known as just Taz, T-A-Z. I call her my razzmatazz. That's my razzmatazz. For allowing me to come alongside her for almost 8 years. She was pregnant. She was with her parents. Her mom is now gone on to be with the Lord. And her dad has been trying to get there, telling him, ain't time yet, sir. Ain't time. You be okay. Come on now. You know, we need you. But I met her at the VA with her parents, and she was pregnant with kids. She let me hug her, which I can't believe to this day. Now I can't keep her off of me. No. But she allowed me to come into her space. She didn't let nobody look at that baby because nobody touched that baby, but she let me hold him in my good arm in a wheelchair. And now God has allowed us to come together to do something so fantastical. Yep, I created the word, so fantastical, to help those families that are dealing with autism with their children, and even the parents that have disabilities themselves. Maybe they have ADHD. Maybe they're on the spectrum. And then to meet Dr. V over in Detroit. We've known each other for about 6 years. So her son was about 12 or 13. What is it with the boys? And she allowed me to come alongside of her. And so she's on the East Coast, on the East Coast of Michigan. We over here on the West Side. And we're going to come together. And then I meet Shantae. She's got the girls. So I got 2 sons over here. And now I got 2 girls. And it's like, God, I thank you. So I get the full spectrum of it. And thank you. Because that the parents need the mental support as well. And that's what we're providing in all of it. Because I make a phone call. Hello. Betty, is this you? Because this is Cheryl. I need to tell you something, girl. I'm about to help you. I'm going to be the answer to prayer. So I'm excited that we're going to all come together and be able to pool our resources. And we're going to have us a Black governor.
Yes.
a
That
man.
might be me. No, that's gonna be a woman.
We got you. You want to run? We got you.
I sure will.
We got you. We got you. We got you.
I sure will.
But for us to be together, come together and share what we've experienced and get together the best practices and then sharing them with the world. So I'm grateful. And we got a platform. We don't have to wait for the TV cameras to come. We got a platform right here that we're reaching about 13,000 people a month.
Mhm.
We're around 14,000 views a month. And I'm so excited to be able to start publishing that because this is year 5. Thank you, Bertaji. She said, Dr. Kimberly Von Barrington, you have helped me so much. You're welcome, honey. It has been my pleasure. It has truly been my pleasure. And it has not stopped. We will continue to do great things. And now we got another person here on the team that understands and that gets it. We want to say thank you. I'm taking my glasses off. You can see my eyelashes fluttering. See 'em? You see my eyes?
Give me some of that eyes.
Oh, I got you. What color you want? You want purple?
You know I do. You know, you're my
about,
purple queen. You're my purple queen.
I have about 7 shades of purple glitter. So I got you, Glodine. We're gonna get that Glow Diva Dean on. That's what we're gonna do. But the time is now, yes, 5:26, 26 minutes after the hour. And if you did not see this until somewhere in the middle, you really need to go back and see this from the beginning to hear her story. And this is not all. I mean, this is just the tip of the iceberg of her birth mother coming to her adoptive mother and asking her to take her. So she was adopted at birth by a doctor, the first Black woman doctor in the state of Tennessee.
Surgeon.
Took her.
Surgeon.
She's
In the
surgeon.
South.
She didn't even let me get to that part. She corrected me already. But that's why y'all need to go back. Y'all need to go back and see this from the beginning. And she shares just the tip of the iceberg of the things that God has taken her through. And she's still here with us. And I want to say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. If I had some hair, girl, I'll be like, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Girl, I'll be taking back. And I'll be doing like this, and I'll be posturing myself to let you know that, yes, darling, we thank you for coming on, for being so transparent, having the courage to be transparent. I mean, y'all, we even went there. We talked about being molested by a pastor. All right. So y'all really need to go back and watch the replay. And this is not the last of her. She said, just like you, she's here for God's purposes. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Mother Betty. And Mother Betty is viewing all the way from Overton, Kansas. So we thank you. We on one end on the East Coast, we are with Bel Air, Maryland with Miss Shana Thomas. And then we've gone all the way over to Overton, Kansas with Mother Betty. And we want to say thank you. And we love our Midwest folks. We can't put it to shame. Love our Midwest folks. especially the big D. Whoop whoop. The D is always in the house. And then my hometown folks here that are in Kent County. Thank you. Thank you. But I tip my hat to you, my glasses, my lashes, and my gloss. I tip them all to you. Y'all, she was like, I'm scared. I'm nervous. Y'all didn't see nothing nervous or scared about her today. I told her this is gonna be a conversation, two girlfriends talking, and you just gonna have some folks who's gonna be ear hustling. That's it. Was it not that?
Yes, it was. Everything you said it was. But
And
it's
I said,
also
"No,
everything that God has made it to be. You
absolutely.
know, and that's what I love so much about you,
Oh, thank you.
because you, when you first met me, you touched me. You touched my heart. And you sure enough touched my eyesight because you had on my favorite color. But one thing I do know, and
And then
two
she saw
things
all of
for
me, y'all.
sure.
She watched me go through my seizure, Jesus.
One thing I do know, and two things for sure,
Mm-hmm.
that if it wasn't for the grace that has been given both of us,
Mm-hmm.
we would not be able to tell others that it may look bad, it may feel bad, but it's always going to be worth it when you got the right one on your side.
Yeah.
And that's the Most High.
Yeah. Yes. I
I
agree.
don't mind looking stupid for him.
I'm telling you. So y'all need to really go back. She talks about the different cancers that she's had and how God has brought her through. And I'm just listening like she's telling my story. You know, to have thyroid cancer, first to have 5 head surgeries to get rid of, cancer, and to have the last head surgery, find out that I had thyroid cancer and to have surgery for that, and then to have a stroke all in the same year. And have had a heart attack, then had jaw surgery, wear hearing aids, and blind in my right eye. But I'm still rolling, rolling, rolling. And
I'm still
as
here.
I'm still here, and it's by the grace of God. And in 3 weeks, I will go for my second testing for breast cancer. And we've already made the decision that whatever happens, y'all take it. There's I want to stay on top of it, be assertive, and be aggressive, because they said that the cells that's going on in there, they are very aggressive and they grow very quickly. And the recommendation is that once they do the second one, to do a removal. So I'm there, but it's nice to know that Mother Johnson, she gonna text me by 7 o'clock. It's usually about 7 o'clock my time in the morning, maybe by 8, because we're an hour difference, I believe, between Kansas and Michigan. And oh, thank you. She got the hands. Yes, amen. She got them hands up in that yellow heart. That she always sends a word of encouragement, always right exactly when I need it. And it's always, I love you, be encouraged. It don't take a whole bunch. It don't, you don't need all that hucking and shucking and all that stuff. I ain't got nothing against none of it. But when I hear them 5 words, I love you, be encouraged, it does something. So I want you to know, in front of all my listening audience, all my viewing audience, my rolling family, Mother Johnson, I love you and I appreciate you. And your words always come at a time when I need them the most. And I thank you for that. Because they was right there after Sunday. And I was like, whew. Because it is very discouraging for me when I have to experience that and people don't know what to do. But you was there, Miss Lola.
Yes.
Miss Lola was there and she knew and she stood firm in the spirit for me. And that nothing can separate us at this point. Nothing. We like this. We like uh, eh. Yeah, like y'all when y'all sit, we right here. I want to say thank you. As we leave out, what song comes to mind that has carried you through most of this? What has been like your go-to song?
Mine?
Yes.
Hmm.
If you have more than one, but
Lord, if I find favor in your sight, Lord, please hear my heart's cry. I'm desperately waiting to be where you are. I'd cross the hottest desert. I would travel near or far for your glory. I would do anything for your glory. Ooh,
mhm. Yeah.
just to see you,
Mhm.
to behold you as my king. For your glory, I would do anything just to see you and behold you as my king. That's one of them. And then sometimes I have to say, sometimes you, I used to sing these, sometimes you have to encourage yourself by Mary Mary. Uh, there's just so many.
The only one I could think of, sometimes you have to
That's it.
encourage yourself. Sometimes
Sometimes
you
you
have to endure
have to speak
victory.
victory during the test. And no matter how you feel, speak the word and you will be healed. Speak over yourself, encourage yourself in the Lord.
And with that, we'll see you on Tuesday.